Okay, so speed, distance, time. This should be something we vaguely remember. Probably mostly from science, I'm thinking. Right, so we're going to use common sense with a lot of this stuff. And I know for some of you that's a struggle. In that you type stuff in your calculator and you look at it and go, well, that must be the answer. That's what my calculator told me. Unfortunately, you are the person punching stuff into your calculator, so when you look at it, you have to say to yourself, does that make sense? Okay. If we don't know anything about speed, it says Josie cycles at 10 kilometers per hour. What does it actually mean?
She's cycling.
For every hour, she cycles 10 kilometers.
Nice. For every hour, Josie cycles 10 kilometers. So if she's going to be going for 2 hours, how far is she going to go?
20
Okay,
kilometers.
so in 2 hours, 20 kilometers. 30 minutes.
5 kilometers.
Why 5?
Because if she cycles at 10 kilometers for an hour, half of an hour is 30 minutes, so half 10 is...
Okay, so that's what I was looking for. So 30 minutes is half an hour. So only 5 kilometers. 30 minutes. Okay? Now, we do need to be aware about our time frames. I think that's on the next page anyway, so I'll probably go through it then. But we do need to make sure that you're able, that's a new word, able and capable of changing things from minutes to hours. Some people, again, are not great. If it says 2.3, often they're going to say that's 2 hours and 30 minutes. But we need to remember that for hours, they're in portions of 60s. Okay, so 2.3 is not 2 hours and 30 minutes.
So how will we know if it means 2.3 hours or...
So we'll do some calculations and we'll discuss those as they arise. But basically, if you're calculating something and you're calculating the time and it's in hours, if you get an answer of 2.3 on your calculator, that means 2.3 hours. Okay? So you're only going to say 2 hours, 30 minutes if it says 2.5. Okay? Right, how long would it take her to travel 40 kilometers? Remember, she's traveling 10 kilometers per hour. Yep. 4 hours, lovely. And 2.5 kilometers. 15 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be 0.25 an hour.
So that's correct. So 2.5 kilometers is 1/4 of 10. You happy with that?
Yeah.
And 1/4 of an hour is 15.
How do you know that it's 1/4 of 10? There's 2.
I know that 2.5 goes into 10 4 times. I know, is that because I know that?
If you like split 10,
If you think about it, add the 0.
I mean, if you did 10 divided by 2.5, you get 4, so you know there's quarters.
Okay.
I don't know, good thing. Or 2.5 over 10 maybe is a better one. Equals 1/4.
Do we have to keep it on like the same unit?
Yes, so that was something else I was going to discuss when it comes to the calculations. The units are really important, and they do tell you a lot of information. Well, they tell you that my distance has to be in kilometers and my time has to be in hours. Okay, so if you're trying to find any alternative, so if you've been given a speed in kilometers per hour and you ask to find distance, you know that your answer you're getting is in kilometers because that was the unit they've given you. Okay? If they've asked you for something in a specific unit, you need to make sure your values are in those units first.
But like for as of right now, we don't have to change it or...
No, so we're good to go because we've just been asked about kilometers and hours. I mean, here we talked about minutes, 30 minutes, but we knew that.
If we're writing for like what is 2.5 kilometers, do we have to say 15 minutes or do we have to say 1/4 of an hour? So,
Oh, either is totally fine.
okay.
Yes. Good question. Alright, so the triangle that we used, do you remember this?
Yep.
speed is this time.
Okay?
Wait, I thought it was speed on the top.
No.
Speed equals distance.
So how you remember that is up to you.
Don't you divide?
No, but as in how you remember the order. Like you put the S one on the top. So what I mean is you need to find some way of remembering which order the letters go.
Okay.
Now you could say Danny. Oh, yeah, Danny Stegman.
Oh.
Danny Stegman.
What's your middle name? Oh yeah, Ruth. Or it could be Danny. Stop talking.
Oh my god, I love that. Danny, stop talking. You can. So, however you decide.
It's a divide down and then speed and time.
What, so we're going to talk about this now. So how do we use this triangle? Well, if we're trying to find an equation for speed, what you do is you cover up the S. Okay? So if we've covered up the S, you can see the D is up in the air, and we've got a line in between the D and the T, yes?
Yeah.
So that means it's going to be distance divided by time.
Okay.
Because the distance is up in the air, the time is on the bottom. Okay? If we want to know distance, we cover up the D. Now, where are the other two letters located?
Both in the bottom.
Both on the bottom, they're next to each other. What
Speed
happens is
times
when we
time.
put
If they
them
get
next to each other, we multiply
multiplied.
them. Yeah. So it's going to be speed multiplied by time.
Nope.
And then the other one, time, cover up the T.
Distance over speed.
Thank you, yes, distance
Nope.
over speed. Okay? Trispians?
Yes.
Okay, so however we remember that triangle is up to you. So here we go, some more examples. So Ben drives his car at an average speed of 35 kilometers per hour. How long? Okay, so we need to recognize phrases that indicate what we're actually trying to find. So if you see the phrase how long, what do you think we're trying to find?
Time.
So we're trying to find the time. We know that time is equal to what?
Distance over speed.
Distance over speed. Bless you.
Oh wait, it's actually right there. Wait, what's upside down?
Bless you. So in this case, our distance is what?
35.
Equally. I mean,
This is 87.5.
now, actually, what I might do here is, so that's 87.5 kilometers. Yeah, so I'm going to include my units. I don't normally. Over my speed, which is 35 kilometers per hour.
Hour.
Okay, so the fact that we've got kilometers top and bottom, and the other one is an hour, means that our time answer is going to be hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes?
2.3.
Because this is a kilometer, this is a kilometer, the other one is an hour. So what is it?
2.3 hours.
2.5.
2.3.
Are you?
This is awkward.
I got 2.5.
I got 2.5. 2.5.
Danny, are you putting the right answer in?
32.
No, it's 2.48.
87.5 divided by
Yeah,
35.
but it says 2.
You put 81.5.
That's I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but when 5 people
I know.
have told me it says 2.5, and just the one is pushing for the 2 points,
Especially if it's her.
then, you know, I think
I'm just tired.
use the error. Use the error.
How many hours did you go
I
to sleep
can't
last night?
Anyway, shh, excuse me.
Sorry.
So we said this is 2.5 hours. So we can leave it like that, lovely jubbly. They may ask us to say in hours and minutes, and this is where we have to remember that 0.5 an hour. So if we've got 0.5 an hour, we multiply that by 60, and we get 30. So this is 2 hours, 30 minutes. Now, you probably knew that 0.5 was 30 minutes anyway, but I'm just showing you how you find the minutes portion. Now, you do have to be careful if it's got a recurring sign on it. Okay? So if it has a recurring sign on it, you can't just say, so if it said 2.3 recurring, you can't just say 0.3 multiplied by 60. You've got to make sure you keep the recurring sign on there.
Or could you just round it to like 2.0?
Could you round it? For your answer, and then round it for like 2 hours and 30? If it was like,
So if you got 32.756 minutes, yes, you should round the minutes. But you
Yeah,
wouldn't
but-
round it until you got the minutes.
it's still like the thing up there, so.
Yes, yeah.
So if it has a recurring time, it's like 2.2. 2.666, whatever. You wouldn't round it to 2.7.
No, because you're going to then get the wrong number of minutes.
So you just like, but how would you calculate the recurring time? You just like,
So what you could do, so if you had 2.6666 on your calculator, what you could do is subtract 2, because you know it's 2 hours, and then you're just left with your recurring, and you can multiply that by 6.
so 6 recurring times 60?
Yeah, 2.6 recurring.
0.6 recurring.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we do the recurring
Hang on.
time?
So you wrote 2.5 and then 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yep. Say again?
You write both. You write.
Yes, both could be fine because they haven't specified what kind of units they want it in. Sometimes they do say hours and minutes, which is why I'm having the discussion about this kind of thing, just in case.
So what would
Otherwise, you could just
2.3
leave
be?
it like that, job done. Okay, so if they haven't specified they want minutes, you can leave it like this. Okay? Pardon? That top's too short, I just took it.
No, it's because I raised it. It's fine. So how do you do the reoccurring sign on your calculator?
Let's discuss that in a second, shall we? Okay.
Okay.
Right, okay. Shakira
Shakira.
runs the 200 meter race in 40 seconds. What speed is she running at? Okay. So we're trying to find the speed. Hopefully that's obvious. So speed is equal to what over what?
200 over 40.
So this one is 200 meters
Equals
over
5.
40
Equals
seconds.
20.
And good. So that was my next question. What type of
Never mind,
unit is
no.
going to be? Meters per second. So 20 divided by 4, so it's 5 meters per second.
Fine.
Now you may sometimes see the unit meters per second is written like this.
What?
No.
MS to the minus 1, especially in science situations.
Never seen that in science.
Okay, interesting.
Actually,
We've only seen MS.
Oh yeah,
We can't do this.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
physics.
I don't think physics, but like I've
Oh!
Some observers
seen it,
not
but I
so
don't
much.
remember.
Was that like if you're on the test, like meters per second?
Well, if you see it written like that, just know that it means meters per second. Now we've done index laws, haven't we? We know that this means meters divided by seconds. We know that if something's on the bottom, it's got a secret power of 1. So that's ms to the minus 1. Same thing. Yes? So it all works together.
Never mind. That's my question.
Right, think about time. So I've said here, in these calculations, it's very important that correct units are used. Okay, so we need to make sure that you're comfortable changing units. So if speed's given in meters per second and asked to find the distance, it's going to be, you're going to be giving it in seconds. You need to put the time in seconds and the answer will be in meters. You need to be able to convert from one unit to the other. So let's just make sure. 1 hour is
60 minutes.
1 minute is
60 seconds.
30 minutes is
0.5 or
okay, I'm
1
going to put it as a fraction, just
90 minutes is 1.5
hours.
1.5, yeah, or 1.5. Alright, I'll put both.
2 hours and
It's
2.25.
2.25.
2.25.
Yeah, 2.25 or 2.25, good. Okay, recap the distance.
Wait, could you go really quick?
Too fast,
Where'd you
too
get?
fast.
Which one?
Where'd I get what? I need a full sentence.
90 minutes.
90 minutes, so that's 60 minutes plus 30 minutes, so that's 1 hour and half an hour.
Oh.
Yeah?
It's an hour and a half.
Or see.
Miss Bianis? Okay, recap.
1,000.
Nice, thank you. 1 kilometre is 1,000. Remember, kilo means 1,000. 1 metre is how many centimetres?
100.
And 1 metre is how many
1,000.
millimetres?
Ow.
Okay, 1 centimetre is
10.
you lot with your recollection. 1 kilometre is how many centimetres?
10,000.
100,000.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Okay, how can we make sure we understand this? So we know that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer, and there are 100 centimeters in a meter. Okay, so that's how you can change that.
There's one more.
Oh, merci.
1 million.
kilometer, a million. No.
Oh my god. That's what you were talking about.
Okay.
6 zeros.
And again, there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter and 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Nice.
Pretty goofy.
The car travels for 2 hours and 20 minutes. An average speed of 65 kilometers per hour. Calculate the distance traveled. Okay. First of all, we need to know distance is equal to what? Speed times time. Now, I've said that the units and things are very important. So my speed is good to go. It's 65 and it's kilometers per hour. Okay. My time, however, is at the moment 2 hours 20 minutes. So I have a mixture of hours and minutes at the moment. In order to use my distance and speed multiplied by time, I need to make sure I am just in hours. Okay, so you need to know how to change 2 hours 20 minutes into just hours. Do we know how to do that?
You
Two
divide by 20.
If it's
Yes, nice, more specific than I, thank you. So we're going to work out what 20 divided by 60 is.
3.
Okay, so that's 1/3. So I've got 2 hours and 2 1/3 hours. Right.
Can we do it as a decimal?
Now, the reason that I'm suggesting not is because I know that 1/3 is a recurring decimal.
3.
Okay, and that's where people start making mistakes. Your calculators all work in fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, so it's much easier to put it in as a fraction and make sure that you've got it correct rather than stress how to find the recurring symbol. Why are you trying?
No, not.
Okay, is that okay?
I get it.
No, we thought we were bringing some more.
I know you do, but I'm just suggesting that it may be easier to work in fractions. Yes? So now I know that my distance is my speed, which was 65, multiplied by 2 1/3. Now we need to make sure that we can find 2 1/3 on our calc. Do we know how to do that? I'm going to put
151.7.
Hang on, we've got different answers.
What is it?
I got 40.3.
So, 1 second. We've got 65 multiplied by 2 1/3. So I know it's got to be way more than 43 because 2 lots of 65 is already 130. Okay, are you with me? So 130 over 3, that's fine, but we probably want to leave that as a decimal. So what's one?
I got
43.3.
I got 151.66.
So, Angel, I think Zoe, you just did the 1/3 multiplied.
No,
I did.
I did 2.
Did you? No, I know what else I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually,
No, it's always because it's multiplied together.
No, but I got 151.
Yeah, that's it is.
That sounds right. 151 point.
667. So 7.
So 7 kilometers. Right, let's check calculators. Alright, a student walks for 2 hours at 3.5 kilometers an hour and then for an hour at 2 kilometers per hour. Find the total distance walked. So we have to do this in 2 portions here. So we have to find distance A. So that's this one. And then distance B. So distance A. Distance is what times what?
Distance is speed times time.
Yes, so that's going to be 2 multiplied by 3.5, which is hopefully 7. You can do that in your head. And then distance B would be 1 multiplied by 2, which is 2.
3. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
So the total distance, hang on,
I wrote down 3.
is 10.
Why wouldn't you add like 2 numbers?
Wait, isn't 7 plus 2 nothing?
Okay, so Cheyenne's come up with a good question, and it's something that you lot will probably be tempted to do, so you need to make sure you're listening. Hayley, focus, please.
Sorry.
She said, why don't we add the 2 hours and the 1 hour? Okay, it's because we're traveling at different speeds. So we need to find how far we travel for this portion and how far we travel at that portion separately, because we are traveling at different speeds. If we're traveling at the same speed, bless you, the whole time, that's fine, we'll just do that. Julia?
I thought it was 9.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's really awful.
I was so confused.
Hey, that's what I said. That was
Do you know what? The funny thing is, it's because when
Seven
Haley,
to 3.
no, when Haley said 3 and Julie said I wrote 3, in my head I was thinking 3. Added 3. Really nice. Alright, so we've got a total 9 kilometres. Now, I wrote 10 because I said that 7 plus 2 was 10, and that's really Alright, so we need to know the average speed. Now, this you've got to be careful with. That I know you're used to seeing things like average, and you're used to finding the mean value of stuff. So where you add the 2 up and divide by 2. Yes? That's not what we're going to do here. What we need to do here is we need to take the total distance that we've travelled and the total time that we've taken, and we're going to work out the speed of that. Does that make sense?
So we just
Wait, say that again, please.
So we're just finding one speed, but we're using the journey as its entirety. Okay? So we know that speed is distance over time. Okay? So for this journey, we're going to take the total distance that we've travelled, which was 9, divided by the total time that we've taken, which was 3 hours. Okay? And that's going to give us 3 kilometers per hour. We do not add the 2 speeds up and divide by 2.
Why not?
Because we've traveled different distances for those speeds, and so it makes a big difference.
Oh my
Where
goodness.
did you get 3 from?
The 2 hours plus the 1 hour.
Plus 2 hours. Okay, so this here was 1 plus 2 hours. Yeah? You want to have the next one going? Okay, go. I'll pause it while you have to go. Okay. Right, the first one I think should be pretty straightforward. Okay?
Yeah.
So meters per second. We want to know the speed in meters per second. So speed is distance over time. So speed is 100 meters over 10.05 seconds. So that's what? I don't know the answer.
9.950.
9.95 meters per second. Lovely job.
That's what I got.
Okay? So that's one option. The second thing is they've asked us to change it to kilometers per hour. I personally think the easiest way is to change both of your measurements to be the unit that they've asked for. So we know that 100 meters, we need to change that to be kilometers. Now, I've just discussed this with a few people. Kilometers and meters. We know that there's the number 1,000 is important, yes? So we are either only ever going to be multiplying or dividing by 1,000. If we thought that changing from meters to kilometers was multiplying by 1,000, we would have an answer of 100,000. Does 100 meters seem correct when we're saying 100,000 kilometers? Now, I think you'd be quite happy to run 100 meters, but if I asked you to run 100,000 kilometers, you might start crying a little bit. Yes?
Yeah.
So we've obviously done it the wrong way round, so it should be 100 divided by 1,000. You understand what I'm trying to say to you?
Yes.
So that's 1/10 or 0.1 kilometers. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's where I was saying about you putting stuff in the calculator and just believing what you've written, what you'll see in front of you, because you're like, well, that's what the calculator said. But you're the one entering the things, so you've got to make sure you're looking at making, is it sensible? Now, we now need to change seconds to hours. So 10.05 seconds. Now, I would suggest first of all we want to change it to minutes. Yes? How do we change seconds to minutes?
Divide by 60.
Okay, so if we're going to multiply that by 60, we would have 60 something minutes. Does that make sense?
No.
No, again, we've got more minutes, so that doesn't seem right. So we're going to have 10.05 divided by 60.
Which equals 0.17.
Is that rounded?
Yeah.
Can we have a few more?
If the last one is 5.
Yeah, it's
0.1675.
Is that
Okay.
the complete answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to keep it as complete as possible until later on. And so that's minutes.
But
But we need to change it to be hours. Pardon?
What if you did round
If
it?
you did round it, then you're going to start affecting your answer quite dramatically. So you need to not round it.
Oh.
Okay?
Why would you not hours?
Because I'm going to now change it to hours. I personally like to go minutes to hours rather than do all of those. Okay? So now I'm going to go from this answer here to hours. So 0.1675 minutes. What do I do to change to hours? Divide that by 60. So 0.1675 divided by 60 is
0.002791.
Wait, why'd you divide it by 60 again?
because we know that there are 60 minutes in an hour.
Yeah, 26.
Oh, I have it in the calculator. If you divide by 60, if you do 110.15 divided by 60,
I got it. Yeah, 92.
Your calculator may be rounding to a certain number of decimal places.
Because I put in mine and I have 1.16 recurring.
yeah, me too.
I said till 9 too.
No, it's on the ground. It looks darker down here. It looks so far clear, but darker down here.
Okay, when you first get these calculators, they default to round to a certain number of decimal places, and so so we need to make sure that you're all allowing it to have lots of decimal places.
Mine
Okay, so
does
then
not allow it.
I'll show you in a second, okay?
Is mine fixed then?
Yeah. Okay.
What's it?
All right, so we've now got that value there. So now we can actually work out our speed. So our speed is the 0.1 over the 0.00279116.
No.
Okay, what do we get for that?
5.8.
All right, we've just got two.
Oh,
people
look,
that
see, I
done
multiplied it. Wait, sorry.
I have it.
I have it.
It's 35.821.
Lily, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is what Lily said. Okay, so say again 35.
0.821.
So let's just go 0.82. Okay, so that's kilometers per hour now.
But can we round to 1?
Wow.
Pardon?
Can we round to 1?
35.8.
Yeah, that really affected my answer.
So remember, you're going like 10 meters per second, so every second. Here we're talking about hours.
Okay.
So you're definitely going to be going a lot further if you're talking about a whole hour.
Right.
Yes? Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Yes? So a second, super quick. Hour, pretty long. Okay, so that difference is going to be quite a big difference. Yeah? Are we good with those? Happy changing units? Okay, so these are really good discussions to have because they come up a lot. And as I said, I don't want you to be writing things willy-nilly just because you're like, that's something else. Okay?
Wait, so